Brendan Small is still bothered by Metalocalypse's cancellation. I don't really know what happened. Yeah, we were all like, what the What's up, y'all? Thrash Potato, back with another video. This time we're talking about Brendan Small, talking about Dethklok getting canceled for a reason nobody knows. Which, if you ask me, is complete bullshit because I love that show. I have no idea why it's not on anymore, especially with how freaking popular it was. Who didn't watch Metalocalypse, dude? Alright, let's jump into the article and see what he says. Dethklok, the fictional yet beloved heavy metal band from the animated series Metalocalypse, one of the best cartoons ever made, has resonated deeply with fans around the globe. Despite being a creation of animation and imagination, the band has amassed a devoted following, blurring the lines between reality and fiction. I mean, he should just say it's a real band too. But yeah, he ain't lying. We're all huge Dethklok fans, because it's the only cartoon that spoke to us, you know what I mean? There was no other heavy metal nothing out there, and it was almost like a slap in the face when they got rid of it. I just don't get it. The intensity of their music, combined with the show's dark humor and over-the-top antics, struck a chord with the metal enthusiasts who found themselves emotionally invested in the band's fate. The emotional investment was put to the test when Metalocalypse was unexpectedly canceled by Adult Swim in 2015, which was absolute bullshit if you ask me. Fans were left in a state of mourning, grappling with the end of a band that had never truly existed outside the TV screen, which is kinda weird because I could have swore Dethklok had a bunch of concerts while it was going down, and Brendan Small had his signature Gibson Thunder Horse axe made just because that band didn't exist, I guess. Anyways, maybe I'm missing something. Now, in a recent interview, New Noise magazine show co-creator Brendan Small expressed his confusion over such cancellation. When asked about the claim that the show ended due to high production costs, Small responded, "That's news to me, that a TV show is more costly than a tour. And he should know because guess what? Dethklok was a real band and they toured. Unless Gene Hoglan's just a figment of my imagination. I don't know. Especially because you integrate so many visuals and multimedia. The shows that the band put together that didn't exist were freaking amazing, and a lot went into them. They were pretty bitchin', they were like something you never seen before. It was freaking awesome, dude. I read that the reason Metalocalypse ended was because it was getting too expensive. My ass, I mess around with animations and stuff and there's no way. There is no way. I mean, look at Meat Canyon. He's making cartoons right there on YouTube and coming up hard. One of my idols on this thing. I love that dude's cartoons, and so does everybody else. Which means if he can pull that off, Lord knows that Adult Swim can pull it off easy, and it ain't gonna cost that much. I call total bullshit on that. He continued to explain that he wasn't sure if this was entirely true. In a roundabout way, he's being nice calling it bullshit. Same here, man. Same here. According to Small, the show had always been produced on a relatively low budget, cheaper than most animated shows. You can make that whole thing in Adobe Animator, no problem. Freaking Adobe Animator. He emphasized that one of the key aspects of the project was creating the show they wanted with limited resources, noting that their budget was similar to most other Adult Swim shows. Exactly, you're not going to convince me that a cartoon especially costs too much to make in today's age. And I mean, even back in like 2012 it wasn't too expensive. So whoever was saying this is just blowing smoke. I don't know if that's totally true, Brendan said. Maybe that was the rationale, but our show has always been so cheap to produce, cheaper than most animated shows even. That was one of the defining aspects of the project. How do we make a show that we want with a pretty low budget? So the complete portfolio of the cartoon went in with a low budget in mind, making me say that's even more bullshit. Because if you wanted to, you can make a cartoon relatively cheap. You can make one free if you're good enough. I'm not, but I'm working on it. Our show budget was pretty similar to most Adult Swim show budgets. We were in the same ballpark. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Adult Swim had some type of gripe, or they just thought maybe the show, maybe personally they didn't like the show, or they thought it was getting stale or something. I know it wasn't the ratings because we were all watching it. We all still watch it. So I'll call bullshit on that if you try to say it's the ratings, because I don't know one dude that doesn't like Metalocalypse. Not one dude. And I'm talking non-metalheads were cracking up when they're seeing Swisscar flying out of the helicopter because he's got to jam some air guitar. Come on, dude. Continuing on, Small mentioned that they had a 4-season contract, and beyond that, he wasn't certain what happened, which was really starting to gripe me because the saddest part is, and I know it's maybe not just Brendan Small's individually, but I think him and his team, or him and the team that's passionate, should have the rights, or I wish they had the rights, because can you imagine if it continued on like YouTube? I would watch every single series. I'm like that when it comes to Blark & Son as well. Dude, dude, just throw them up on YouTube, man. Let's roll. Especially in today's world, we need some good entertainment. And Metalocalypse was fucking first class. We just had a 4-season contract, and beyond that, I really don't know what happened. Touring has gotten way more expensive, but I don't know if those are related topics. It's hard to compare one to the other because one of them involves employing animators and different unions and things like that. Making a TV show may be more expensive than touring, but still, someone's got to front the money. Someone's got to take the risk. I'm not interested in working in the red and hoping that merch pays off. And I don't blame them, because who wants to go out there and just get broke? It's hard taking risks like that, but I take dumbass risks like that all the time. I mean, that's just me. Small also speculated that part of the reason that the show's end could be that it felt like the story had been concluded, or perhaps not. And that's another thing, even if the story was concluded, there's always a way to bring it back. I mean, we're basically basing this one off of good and evil. I mean, there's all kinds of goods and there's all kinds of evils. Even if it ended with like a happy ending, a good story, there could always be something around the corner. It's a fucking cartoon, for Christ's sake, and very talented people behind it, and people that know metal, love metal, and we related to. That's what the most bitchin' part of it was. Small said that in a recent interview with Heavy Consequence that there's one song on Death Album 4 that can evolve into the next storyline for the band. Exactly, that's exactly what I just said. Endless. It's a fucking cartoon, dude. And I know exactly what he's talking about. If you don't, you better go listen to the album. It's more of a bold move to end your story. And so we're gonna go, okay, this is it. But if there were, look, there's one idea I have, and this is where I do get coy. I have one idea, and I don't know if it'll ever come to fruition at all, but there's a song that embodies what I think the next version of Dethklok would be. Oh, you're gonna change them up, dude? I mean, hopefully for the best, this is your baby, but just remember, man, we love that band. We love that band how it is, and even if it can't be, we can celebrate what it was right there, man. I would panic if I thought he was gonna change the band up or whatever, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's in pretty good hands and it's his baby, you know what I'm saying? So he would know what to do with it more than any of us. I don't know that we'll ever get there because, I mean, again, we need somebody else to pay for it, and I get that. I mean, I'm sure in the industry it's super expensive, but if you had the rights, and I understand you still have to pay animators, but I mean, there's animators that'll help you launch it. Can you imagine, dude, Brendan, I know you'll never see this, but can you imagine if you had a small group together and just said, hey, let's jump in on this, let's get it up on YouTube, start a series. Go watch Meat Canyon, dude. That's the way you do it. And now, then again, I only got a couple cheesy cartoons, and some of them are made with AI. But the ones that aren't, dear Lord, they take forever. They're not easy to make, and mine are horrible. Mine are absolutely horrible. I can only imagine how long these good ones are going. But then again, if you got the right guy on it, it's gonna fly. Also, Brendan, it's unfortunate you'll never see this because, dude, how about a guitar channel to fund it? A YouTube guitar channel. Who's not gonna watch that? Who's not gonna subscribe to Brendan fucking Small, dude? I mean, seriously, look at I bet you can't play this, dude. Come on. You start putting riffs down in there. I mean, Swisscar's riff of the week. Dude, come on, dude. Hey, then again, I don't know if you have the rights. I remember your old Viking video, and I don't know if it reached the heights you wanted it to, but go ahead and do one again today and see what happens. I guarantee you, you're gonna get the views, man. Get those views, fund that cartoon. We're all happy, man. We'll hit the shows, we'll buy the albums, we'll watch. I mean, your content's there, man, and I know you're a busy dude, but if you start the engine, we're gonna hop in the carts and ride with you, man. That's just how it goes, man, because Metalocalypse rules, dude. And that's my opinion on the whole thing. What do you guys think about why this got canceled? I think there was some beef, dude. I really do. There was either some beef and the people at Adult Swim are just out of touch. Alright guys, that's my video. I hope you dug it. If you did, maybe like and subscribe. That would be cool. Speaking of cartoons, keep an eye out for the little cartoons that I'm trying to write. That's why I'm always holding a guitar in my hand when I do these, because I'll just hop right over to the next one. Hell, when I'm editing, I got this thing in my lap. Again, leave me a comment, man. Let me know what you think. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, and don't forget, I got some guitar reviews as well. I haven't done one in a minute because I've been so busy doing this and that, but I do have some really cool stuff coming up. Again, good reason to subscribe. It ain't gonna hurt you none. And if you think my next video is cheesy, all you gotta do is scroll on by it. But it'll help me out a lot. Anyways, guys, we'll see you on the next video. Do me a huge favor and remember to stay metal. Late.